All right, this is Kim Dodson's demonstration speech. There's her audience.
Hi, my name is Kim Dodson, and today I'm going to help you get your DIY on. Have you ever walked through Hobby Lobby or searched through Pinterest and saw the word art signs and thought, man, I wish I could make my own phrase? Or if you're like me, you thought you didn't want to pay for the crazy retail prices and you can make it cheaper. The good news is you can. I spent time researching, teaching myself how to make signs, watching YouTube videos, reading craft blogs, and there are literally thousands of videos on YouTube on this topic. Once I got a good grasp on what I needed to do, I thought, why not try to make a little bit of money off this? For the last 9 years, I've owned my own sign and woodworking business, selling on Facebook and Etsy. What started off as a side hobby quickly became a full-time job. Painting signs is so much fun that I started teaching DIY workshops to teach other people how to make signs as well. And today I'm going to teach you too. I know what you're going to say. I don't have any talent. I don't have a crafty bone in my body. I've heard it before. Don't worry. It doesn't take any talent or special skill. The trick to making a sign is to use a stencil. Business owner Stacy Kehoe says, be brave enough to try something new and you just might succeed. Now let's look at what we need to get started. You'll need, first of all, your piece of wood. You'll need paint, at least 2 colors that contrast each other, a paintbrush, a piece of sandpaper, or even a little piece of a brown paper grocery bag, something with a sharp point like a dental pick or a push pin or a safety pin, a squeegee or a credit card, just something flat and smooth, and then I also like to use a makeup sponge. And then you'll also need your stencil, which is the one we're going to use today. You'll also want to look at your workspace. You want to protect wherever you're working from paint and splatter. So I like to use cheap disposable paper or tablecloths that are like $1 each, or you can even lay out a piece of cardboard. You'll also want to look at what you're wearing. If you don't want to get paint on it, then either change or wear an apron. All right, let's get started. So first, we're going to look at our wood and find our smooth side. We're going to take the sandpaper or the piece of brown paper bag and lightly sand over it just to smooth out any imperfections. And then we're just going to take it and wipe it off. Next, you're going to pick your base color. I'm doing white today, and I've already base coated it to save for time. You'll put a little bit of paint on your plate or whatever surface you'd like and dab it in and just paint nice smooth strokes all across the sign, and be sure to get the edges. You can paint as many coats as you like to get the desired effect, whether you want it thin and distressed or thicker. Next, while that's dry, we're going to apply our stencil. Stencils are going to come with clear contact paper or transfer tape on the front. You'll want to flip it over, peel back the paper backing, going slowly to make sure that the stencil all stays where it's supposed to. Once that's done, we will flip over our stencil, line it up on the sign, press it down with your hands. This is where your squeegee comes into play. Squeegee your stencil across the board, making sure it's nice and adhered to your wood. Get it really well, make sure there's no bubbles. And then we'll take the corner of the transfer tape and slowly peel it back. If a little piece lifts up, you can just press it back down. And just work slowly until you get your whole stencil on and all of the tape off. Sometimes it's kind of a pain. All right, so here is our sign with the stencil. Now we're going to take the base color, so in this case white, and we're going to paint another coat of white over the stencil. I know this seems weird, but essentially what it's going to do is seal in the stencil to keep the other colors later from bleeding. So you'll just do thin coat in both directions to seal in your stencil. Once that is completely dry, then we're gonna take our lettering choice. This time I'm gonna use black paint, but you can use multiple colors if you want it to be multicolored. And you're just gonna take, I like to use a makeup sponge. You're gonna take a makeup sponge, lightly dab it in the paint, dab off the excess, and you'll come over and just slowly dab up and down. Just do light coats, covering the letters only. You don't have to do the whole sign, essentially just the letters. You can do 1 to 3 coats depending on the coverage you want. The less coats you do, the more distressed it's gonna look, where the more coats you do, you'll have more full coverage. Looks like this. Once that is dry, you'll do my favorite part, which is to peel off the stencil and reveal your design. So you'll just grab the corner of the stencil, peel back, and your stencil will come off. This is where you'll use your little sharp tools. The little points will come in here and it'll be handy to lift up the inner parts of the stencil when you're removing it. Once your stencil is completely removed, you'll have your finished project, which will look something like this. Today, I laid out step by step how to paint a sign using a stencil. Let's go over the basic steps again. You're gonna prep your wood, you're gonna paint the base coat, you're gonna apply your stencil, you're gonna apply a second coat of base color to seal your stencil, you're going to paint the color of the lettering, and then once dry, you'll peel your stencil. I know it may seem intimidating at first, but hopefully once you get the hang of it, you'll get hooked and be able to make your own signs. You can use them to make home decor for yourself, gifts for others, and maybe even make a bit of money. Thanks for taking the time to paint with me today. Have a great day.